Welcome back, friends. If you're new to my channel, my name is Katie. This is Louisiana Cooking and Living, and thank you for coming and watching. Today we are going to do another series or an installment of the little series Labor Day cookouts, but it could really be any kind of cookout you're doing, Memorial Day, just a family gathering, whatever the cookout is. But with Labor Day coming up, I thought we would do a couple of videos on ideas that we have for cooking out. Today we are smoking ribs and a chicken, and I'm going to be doing some baked beans, roasted sweet potatoes, and cornbread. I do have some bacon rendering on the stove right now to get my beans started, and I got some onions chopped and some jalapenos. One of the quick steps we take in making baked beans is I just get these Bush's baked beans. This one is the maple and bacon flavor. Sometimes we get the brown sugar bacon or whatever, and then we just add stuff to it. It just kind of gives us a starting point. I am going to drain the juice. I asked my husband, because he usually is the one that cooks these. I asked him kind of what he does. I am going to drain the juice off of these, and then we replace that liquid back with a little bit of barbecue sauce. And then the bacon grease that comes out of the bacon, that's some of the liquid, and the onions cook down. So it's getting liquid back from other places, but just, you don't want them too liquidy. You want them more beany. Sometimes I'll put them out on the smoker with the meat, and but we're not doing that today. So I just opened a pack of bacon, and I'm cooking some of it down here on the stove. But the rest of it, look at this bacon I got from Costco. It is like all meat and no fat. I was like, if somebody really needed some pork fat, this isn't the bacon to get. I'm going to cook the rest of this and put it in the oven, and then put it in the fridge to use later, or pop it in the freezer. We usually go through bacon pretty fast around here making breakfast sandwiches. So I'm going to go ahead and cook this bacon in the oven while I'm doing everything else. And for that, if you don't know, I just put it on 350 in the oven. I line my paper with my pan with parchment paper. Kind of makes cleanup a little easier. I save my bacon grease, but when you cook bacon, it kind of gets those little burned bits, not burned, but like, I guess the protein that cooks out of the bacon, or whatever protein you're cooking, it kind of will caramelize the pan. So I use the parchment paper. I still drain off the bacon grease, but it makes actually cleaning the pan easier. Even though there's grease on it, it doesn't have that harder stuff to scrape off. So I'm cooking my bacon in the skillet here. We'll get this going. So my very first video I put out, I did I cooked a pork roast in the oven, and I made cornbread, and I'll attach that video here. I'll have to do like a little card at the top, whichever top I get it at. And it's got my actual cornbread recipe in there. I use my secret ingredient to make it super moist and tender, and it's sour cream. And so the written recipe will be on that video, and but we'll put it together today. I'm doing it a little different today. I'm doing Mexican cornbread. And so I'm adding a few other ingredients besides the original recipe. Today we're going to add some chopped onion, some grated cheese, some cream-style corn, and some chopped jalapenos. So that's my Mexican cornbread add-ins. So I guess we'll turn the camera down onto the stove so you can kind of see what I'm doing, and we'll finish up these beans real quick. Okay, so as this bacon is getting finished up here, I'm going to spoon it into a little bowl with a paper towel. At the end, we will sprinkle this back on the top of the beans. But we kind of want them crispy, so take them out now and then add them back on top later, so you have kind of crispy bits of bacon. Sometimes we put like leftover pulled pork in the beans, or leftover brisket. If we have leftovers of those meats, we'll usually put them in the freezer. And then when we make the baked beans, we just add that back into the meat, or to the beans, and it gives it a smoky taste. So we'll take this bacon out. And with that grease there, I'll turn my burner down. I'm going to add the onions in here to saute for a minute. This is just about 1/4 of an onion. So this can of beans is 28 ounces, and there's just 3 of us here tonight. So if you're having more people, of course, you're going to do more beans. And this is, I think, 5 slices of jalapeno I just diced up really small. I'm going to put those in here now. Alright, just a quick saute. Now we're going to add these beans, and like I said, I've drained them. Now I like to add just a little bit of granulated garlic in here. And then this is my husband's all-time favorite barbecue sauce. Sonny's barbecue sauce. So I think it's probably southeast Louisiana, or not Louisiana, it's southeast United States. It's actually out of Florida, this barbecue restaurant. And the sweet sauce is my husband's favorite. Let me get this jug of it at Sam's. Just add a little bit of that in here. So whatever barbecue sauce is your favorite. I just put about a half a cup just then. And of course, like always, we kind of taste and adjust. You can tell by the color, he probably adds more than that, so I'm going to add a little bit more. Probably about another 1/4 of a cup, so 3/4 of a cup total. If I don't add the jalapenos to it, I will add, this is my Cajun seasoning I make. I actually sell this on Etsy. I'll leave a link in the description box. But if I don't add the jalapenos, I will add this for spice. And that's cayenne pepper, black pepper, salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and dry mustard. Sometimes, and speaking of the dry mustard, he will put a squirt of mustard in here too. So I'm going to need to get that out. Let me grab that real quick. It's just yellow mustard. Just going to give a little squirt of that. Alright, we're going to let these simmer on low for about an hour. And then we will get busy on getting the sweet potatoes ready and the cornbread. Actually, I guess at this point, it's a good time to insert the footage of us getting the ribs on, because those are going to take about 4 hours to cook, and then the chicken was going to take about 2.5 hours. So those have already been on the smoker. So I'll go ahead and insert that video footage now while I get set up for sweet potatoes. Okay, these are St. Louis style ribs. We just cut the racks in half. We got these at Costco, and it came with 3 whole racks. We cut them in half, so we have 3 half sections. So we froze them separately, so we have 2 meals out of them. He's cutting off some excess fat here, removes that thin silver skin lining that's on the back side of the ribs, and just trims them up, make sure that they're to his liking here. He's going to do 2 different kinds of rubs on these. We usually will do a rub on our ribs and then add barbecue sauce at the table. We'll heat the barbecue sauce just a little bit in the microwave, take the chill off of it, and then just add that on the table. So just trimming up the fat here. My son loves ribs. It's his favorite thing to for us to cook.
So we actually make ribs quite often. So get these big packs at Costco. So one in the bowl here you see is what we make up, and it's brown sugar. And it's that seasoning that I told you just a minute ago, the Cajun seasoning I make that I sell on Etsy. It's kind of spicy. And then to that, I added a little bit extra garlic powder and some salt. So it's kind of a sweet, spicy rub on there. And the other one he's going to use is, it's called Texas Brisket, I think. And if you watched the video, I think last week where we smoked brisket, it's the same seasoning he used on that brisket. So that's this one here. A little bit of a spoiler alert though. We didn't enjoy this rub so much on the ribs. It was amazing on the brisket, but and this is what we're going to end up putting on the chicken that we're going to smoke. And it was really good on the chicken too. But for the ribs, it just wasn't the right flavor profile. So he's making sure he's getting all the sides on here. I'm not sure if it's just because it's so much black pepper that's the prevalent flavor on this. It just didn't work on the ribs. So just getting all the sides here. Coating it really well. And so this is the ingredients we added to that other rub. My spice blend, the garlic powder, and then the pink Himalayan salt. And that's all mixed together with brown sugar in the bowl. And he's going to coat the other ribs with this. Again, he does generous coating because, in the cooking process, it does take hours and you're flipping them and stuff. Some of it does kind of come off and the juices will drip and it drips off. So you make sure he gets plenty of seasoning on there. Do you have a favorite thing you like to smoke? We like to smoke a lot of things. He likes to try out different things and experiment. But if there's something that you like to do, let me know about that. It might give us an idea. All right, getting these coated up. And we'll get these on the smoker. Like I said, it took about 4 hours, I think, for these to smoke. He does have a pellet smoker, and these are the pellets he's just recently found. It's a combination of mesquite, cherry, and I think oak. I'm not sure what the third flavor was in there. So this is a Pit Boss smoker he's got. And we're getting the temperature. I see it's up to 190, but I asked him specifically. He said he's going to smoke them on 180. And we're going to put these in there, and then we're going to get the chicken ready. The chicken doesn't take as long as the ribs. It only takes, I think he said 2 hours for the chicken. So we're getting these in here. We've just got this smoker recently. He's very happy with it. It's a Pit Boss brand. So here's the chicken. So here's that chicken. It's a whole chicken, and we're using that Texas Brisket Rub again, which is salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder, but it's predominantly black pepper. Just gonna give it a generous sprinkling all over. And like I said, it was really good on the chicken. He mostly wanted to smoke this chicken just to try it out because it is a new smoker, but he also wanted to be able to have the chicken to make some chicken salad with, and he really enjoyed that chicken salad made with the smoked chicken. Getting some inside the cavity too. And I'll put a link to this seasoning in the description box. We got it on Amazon. And I'll try and link everything that we use down in the description box. It makes it easy for you to find something if you need it, instead of having to think about maybe what to search for. So here we are going back out on the smoker. Those ribs have been going for a couple of hours. We're gonna get that chicken on now. He did tie the legs together, I think, just to kind of hold it together a little bit.
Okay, so we're gonna get our sweet potatoes ready to get roasted. And I'm so happy and so proud of my sweet potatoes. This is sweet potatoes I grew in my garden. And look at these crazy shapes I got. This one, how crazy. I'm gonna insert a picture real quick of the harvest we got. I was so happy with my harvest of sweet potatoes. So I'm gonna get these chopped up. We're gonna roast these in the oven around 400 degrees. And they usually take about 45 minutes to an hour to get roasted really good. And I like to do my sweet potatoes like a more of a savory than a sweet. I know some people like to do like brown sugar or cinnamon, that kind of thing. But I like to do mine more of a savory sweet potato. So we will be doing some red onion and some garlic. And then I snuck some of the bacon that I was cooking out of the oven. And I like to pre-cook a little bit of the bacon. Not all the way, but just enough to get it going, because I want to make sure it's cooked all the way and it gets crunchy. I don't want it to be kind of just soggy and limp and not really cooked all the way. Plus the bacon grease will season up the sweet potatoes. So we're going to get this chopped up real quick. These peels on these sweet potatoes were so thin, I almost didn't even need to peel them. You'll have probably seen, if you've watched any of my videos, I do roasted sweet potatoes kind of often. I actually did a little harvest back in July just to kind of see where we were with the potatoes and how I just harvested one plant. Whoa. To see if they were ready. And so I've roasted them a few times, but I haven't really ever showed you what I do to actually roast them. So just cubing them up. Kind of bite-sized chunks. My husband likes to do a balsamic glaze on his. I'm not a fan of that, but after I roast him, he'll drizzle that on his. Couple of bad spots. But you know what? You get bad spots when you buy them at the grocery store. And these, I grew them myself. It's so exciting to grow something and then harvest it and cook it. If you don't garden, I would encourage you to get started doing that. The first time we gardened, maybe not the first time, but when we started gardening again, at the previous house we had, my husband just got some 5-gallon buckets at Home Depot and we started gardening with that. It's kind of embarrassing when people drive up, but it gave us some food that we grew ourselves. So I'm just throwing these garlic cloves on here whole. These will get nice and toasty and be super sweet. And if you've watched, again, any of my videos, you know we like some garlic. So, throwing the garlic on there. I chopped up this, I think I took 3 slices of bacon out of the oven that's kind of partially cooked. I'll just throw these on here. A little bit of red onion. Red onion I like to leave in big chunks because we really like to just, not just for flavoring, but just to eat it too. It's like part of the vegetables of our dish. Alright. take this and then I'm going to get some of my pink salt here. I'm trying to finish up my Himalayan salt I got at Costco because I do have some Redmond real salt I'm very excited to start using, but I want to make sure I use that up first. All right, and this is I think it was in my last video I showed you this, my garlic. I infused some oil with garlic. I'm just going to drizzle this on here too. If I wasn't roasting it very long, I would use these cloves, but I think these would burn if I tried to use them today because this will have to cook for a good amount of time. So now I'm going to give these a toss. Make sure you get all the goodies spread around so everything's seasoned well. I think I'm going to go grab the pepper too and give this a shake of pepper. Make sure everything's spread out good. I'm going to go grab the pepper real quick. All right, we'll get this in the oven and get it roasting on 400, like I said, 45 minutes, an hour. Just check for tenderness, and I like to see mine a little caramelized. And then we will get the cornbread together. Okay, I love cornbread, so I'm so excited about this. Like I said, I'm going to post or link the previous video I did with the cornbread recipe because I had to kind of figure out that recipe to get it written down. I'm not typically a recipe kind of person. Forgot my sour cream, had to grab that. All right, so I have self-rising cornmeal mix, and I have a new package here, so I pulled that out so you can see. This is the brand I like to use, Martha White Buttermilk Cornmeal Self-Rising Cornmeal Mix. All right, this has got like your leavening agents and salt in it, so it's all mixed together for you. Next, I'm going to add, this was an 8-ounce can of cream sour corn, so I'm going to add that in here. I have about 6 slices, jalapeno slices that I have diced up. I'm going to slide those in. I have some very finely diced onions here. I'll put those in. And I'm going to say that was about 1/4 of an onion, I think. I have 2 eggs. These are my eggs from my chickens. I love it. This is kind of like a peachy, pinky egg, and this one is kind of blue. I get a rainbow eggs. Just love it. 2 eggs. I am going to forgot to preheat my skillet on the stove. It's got some bacon grease in it, so I'm going to do that real quick. All right, now I'm going to get my sour cream in here. That's my secret ingredient. Just give that a squirt. I'm going to put 1/2 cup. I'll go ahead and give this a stir. I always like to kind of get this mixed in before I add my cheese and my milk. All right, I'll throw the cheese in here. This is just some shredded cheddar cheese. I'm going to add just a touch of salt because we are adding all these other ingredients. I just want to add a touch, not much. And then some milk. And this I just go with kind of the texture site of the batter here for this cornbread. If you can tell kind of the consistency of this is the way I like it. All right, I'm gonna grab that hot skillet off the stove and we will mix this in. All right, this is my hot skillet. Got the bacon grease. I just poured it off that bacon grease I had cooked in the oven. And I'm gonna pour my batter in here. I haven't ever used this size skillet before, so I'm not sure. I don't know if you can hear that sizzle. This is all gonna fit, it will. So depending on what size skillet, this is a cast iron pan here. Always making my cornbread in a cast iron. Depending on what size your pan is as to how long it's going to take, probably. Have my oven on 400. I'm going to put it in the oven. It's going to take anywhere, depending on your size, like I said, 30 to 45 minutes. This isn't a terribly large pan. Actually, I have a tape measure. Yep. We'll just see real quick how big this pan is. This pan is a 10-inch skillet. We will get this in the oven. All right, we have everything cooking. We have the ribs and the chicken on the smoker, and we have the cornbread in the oven, the sweet potatoes in the oven, and the baked beans simmering on the stove. And I am going to make my sweet tea, and we will pull this meal together, and I will show you what it looks like at the end. All right, so here is our finished plate. Oop, my rib fell over. Got my beans. Let's see, we'll turn this around. The beans, rib, chicken, sweet potatoes, and my yummy, moist, delicious cornbread. I hope you give this a try. I hope that you share this video with others you think would enjoy watching them. And if you don't mind, hitting subscribe and follow along with our page. That would help us out a lot. The next few weeks, we're going to come up with a couple more cookout. These last week and this week is smoking, and then I think the next 2 weeks we'll do something on the grill instead of just smoking. But we're trying to give you ideas on what to do for your Labor Day cookout or whatever cookout you're having. And I know I keep mentioning sweet tea, and I don't have my tea right here with me. But we don't drink sweet tea like a lot of people do. So if we go to a restaurant, we get half and half, which is half sweet, half unsweet. But we do like our tea just a little sweet. We drink iced tea almost every meal around here. I know some areas of Louisiana, they'll drink milk with their dinners, but here well, at our house at least, we drink tea. If you have any questions, just write them down in the comments below. If you have any suggestions, I appreciate those also. And I hope to see you next time. And I'm just going to post a few little videos. I'm not sure which side of the screen they'll come up on if you want to watch anything in the meantime. And we'll hope to see you again. Bye.